Deep in the caves of South Australia, archaeologists made a discovery that still sends chills through the scientific community. Cave paintings, ancient, unmistakable. They showed humans fleeing from a creature with a massive head, retractable claws, and the body of a lion. But this was no African cat. This was Thylacoleo carnifex, the marsupial lion, Australia's most terrifying predator. And it had a bite force that could crush bone like breadsticks. 20 million years ago, the ancestor of this apex predator looked nothing like a killer. It looked like a wombat, a gentle herbivore roughly the size of a modern wallaby, weighing perhaps 40 pounds. It had the grinding molars of a plant eater, stubby legs built for digging, not sprinting. It shuffled through ancient Australian forests, munching on leaves and roots, avoiding danger rather than creating it. This was Priscaleo pitacensis, the distant grandfather of Australia's most powerful predator. What could possibly transform a peaceful plant eater into a bone-crushing carnivore? The answer lies in the land itself. Around 15 million years ago, Australia began to change. The continent drifted northward into drier climate zones. Lush rainforests withered, open woodlands spread, grasslands emerged where none had existed before. The abundance of soft vegetation dwindled. For herbivores adapted to rainforest plenty, this was a crisis. Food became scarce, competition intensified. But ecological collapse creates opportunity. Some lineages died out, others adapted, and a few made the most radical shift possible in nature. They stopped competing for plants and started hunting the herbivores eating them. The first transformation was the claws. Over millions of years, natural selection favored individuals with longer, sharper four-limb claws. The stubby digging claws of their herbivore ancestors elongated, curved, sharpened to points. Then something unprecedented evolved. The thumb claw became partially retractable, like a cat's claw, but this was a marsupial, developing the same solution through completely independent evolution. This gave them a devastating advantage. They could climb trees with precision, grip branches with power, and most critically, they could hook into prey and hold on while their jaws did the killing work. The arms became weapons. The gentle digger had transformed into a grappling specialist, capable of dragging animals twice its size up vertical tree trunks. But claws alone don't make an apex predator. The second transformation was happening in the skull. The flat, grinding molars of their plant-eating ancestors were disappearing. In their place, natural selection sculpted something extraordinary. Massive carnassial teeth that acted like industrial bolt cutters. Unlike typical carnivores with multiple specialized teeth, Thylacoleo evolved a unique solution. It reduced the number of teeth, but made the remaining ones devastatingly effective. The enlarged premolars worked like shears, slicing through hide, muscle, and bone with surgical precision. At 2,200 pounds per square inch, this was the most powerful bite force relative to body size of any mammal living or extinct. They could bite through a kangaroo's pelvis like you'd bite through a carrot. The final transformation was behavioral. Armed with grappling claws and bone-cutting jaws, Thylacoleo evolved a hunting strategy no other mammalian predator had mastered. They became arboreal ambush specialists. Using their powerful forelimbs and retractable claws, they would climb 15 to 20 feet into eucalyptus trees and wait, motionless, patient, watching the ground below. When giant kangaroos, diprotodonts, or other megafauna passed beneath, they would drop from above in explosive strikes. The impact alone could stun prey. Then the thumb claws would sink in, holding the victim, while those devastating jaws found the neck or skull. If the prey survived the initial attack, Thylacoleo would simply drag it up the tree and finish the kill in safety, away from scavengers. Every adaptation reinforced the others. The retractable claws allowed tree climbing that set up ambushes. The ambush strategy delivered maximum impact that stunned prey. The stunning impact gave time for the thumb claws to hook in. The hooked claws held prey steady for the killing bite. And that bone-cutting bite could kill with a single crushing strike to the skull or neck. For nearly 2 million years, this evolutionary masterpiece ruled Australian forests. No marsupial predator before or since achieved such dominance. They hunted the largest herbivores on the continent. Even the massive diprotodonts, weighing over 2 tons, showed evidence of Thylacoleo tooth marks on their bones. Return to those cave paintings. Around 30,000 years ago, the first humans reached Australia. They encountered Thylacoleo. We know this because they painted what they saw, a massive-headed predator that terrified them enough to record it on stone. For millions of years, no primate had set foot on this continent. These marsupial lions had never encountered tool-using, fire-wielding, cooperative hunters before. The competition was unprecedented. As human populations spread, hunting the same megafauna that Thylacoleo depended on, the marsupial lion's prey base collapsed. Better adapted competitors drove them to extinction. The tree-climbing ambush specialist that had ruled for 2 million years vanished within a few thousand. 20 million years, from gentle herbivore to Australia's most powerful predator. When you study Thylacoleo's fossils, you witness evolution's most radical transformation, from leaves to flesh, from prey to emperor.